Good morning, everyone. How did you sleep last night? How did you sleep if you heard the rumours that were circulating on social media that we'll talk about in today's video? Remember, they are just rumours so far from some big accounts, from some other sources. But thankfully, 9:30 a.m. on this fine Thursday morning, 13th of June, still nothing. So hopefully it stays that way as the countdown is on until the end of June for Bruno's release clause. It is actually transfer window eve tonight at midnight. The transfer window officially opens. Strap yourselves in. It's gonna be a busy, long old summer. Not to mention the old Euros, of course, as well. NX Newcastle for the fans that I'm hosting with Newcastle legend Nobby Solano this Sunday. Tickets available for just £1. That link is in the description. Be floating over your screen now, the one from Derby Day, which we all had a fantastic day. Didn't we, celebrating, smashing the Mackhams. So that was a great one. More of the same this summer. Please, me and Keg did a Euro 2024 predictions on our podcast on Tuesday night, where I've said it's coming home. Maybe I'm getting too excited. Maybe I'm getting the Euro fever, wearing the kits and that. Yeah? We'll see how it goes. It all kicks off tomorrow night, Germany, Scotland, and then England's first game on Sunday. Anyways, we've got two massively important topics to get through that kind of came out yesterday afternoon, last night. Bruno Guimaraes release clause and Dan Ashworth with his dodgy business once more. So we're going to talk about them in today's video. Please do drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already on the Magpie channel. Right then, last night, you had Newcastle United accounts saying this a few weeks ago. You had them reiterating it again that, I'm hearing some bad news here. I think Bruno's leaving. I'm hearing that Man City are going to activate that £100 million release clause before June 30th. That's the deadline. That's the Bruno deadline. His release clause in his contract. People panicking. People tossing and turning all night. You know what I mean? Bruno wasn't. Bruno's actually out there in Florida. Not Disneyland this time. Playing for Brazil on international duty. He drew 1-1 with the Americans last night. So he's keeping busy. Newcastle United put out a little post of him as well this morning. Is that a little cryptic message to silence these comments amongst Twitter last night? Just Bruno in his Brazil shirt. Who knows? Because there's accounts like Mark Goldbridge here, who's got nearly 1 million followers, and he's saying that he's heard Manchester City are going to activate Bruno's release clause. Now, he doesn't want that to happen. He's obviously a Manchester United fan. He doesn't want Manchester City to keep on winning everything, like a lot of we don't. Getting a bit boring now, isn't it? All these 115 financial fair play charges, yet they can still go and apparently activate someone's release clause for £100 million. So, like I say, all of this is just, and we'll get this all somewhere. You get this every day with everything, don't you? It's all just rumours and accounts saying it. Nothing official yet from Sky or the club or anything, of course not. But we're just talking in this video. I want to say what I think is going to happen and what you think is going to happen in the comments. Do you think Bruno will stay or go this summer? Because like I said, that deadline is fast approaching. Thankfully, end of June for the £100 million release clause to expire. Paris Saint-Germain willing to doing it. Will they still come in? Who knows? Obviously, they've got rid of Mbappe now this summer. They're rebuilding. I've seen Arsenal fans, Robbie's been saying there that, they got Bruno, they want Bruno, they're going to go in for Bruno. If they manage to get him, they'd win the league. That midfield of Rice, Guimaraes and Odegaard could actually compete with Man City, and I hear that. So if they had to spare £100 million again, like they did for Declan Rice last summer, then maybe they would come in for the Brazilian as well. But it all seems to be pointing towards Man City. And what I feared when I seen that Lucas Paqueta news, where obviously looks like he's going to get a very lengthy ban for his spot fixing bets, if they are led to believe to come true, then they're going to eye up another Brazilian, because they've been wanting Paqueta. They tried to get him last summer, nearly did. Now they're in talks with Bruno. Now they're eyeing up Bruno instead, because we know how much of a huge fan Pep Guardiola is. Every single chance he gets, Pep, when he comes up against Newcastle, first thing he does, he doesn't even handshake Howard Tinnell's hand. He makes sure he gives Bruno a little rub on the head. A little pat on the bottom. Good game. He's constantly cuddling him and everything. So, Bruno to Man City then. Do I think it'll happen? I've always said no. I've always said throughout this season, even for the past couple of weeks on the podcast, and that I think Bruno Guimaraes will stay for at least one more year. I know I haven't got Europe in that, and that's an issue, but I think he'll give it another year. We know he's recently bought that house for $4 million in Darras Hall, which to me means now, because you can just rent it out or sell it. Multi-millionaires, footballers, they own several properties. That's not an issue. But it does kind of indicate that he's planning a bit of future here. He is planning to stay here. Obviously, he's just He's got 2 kids now, both born in Newcastle, so it's not the best to be moving. However, it's not like he is moving to now abroad if he was going to go to Paris or Real Madrid. He's only moving down the road to Manchester. It's only a couple hours. And he goes there and he's going to win everything. So that's the issue we've got. And if Man City want him, Man City get him. Because Man City have got that. First of all, they can activate the release clause. Secondly, they've got Pep Guardiola. However, obviously there is rumours that he could be leaving this end of season. So next summer he could be the final call for Pep. Obviously the big news for Man City, what we're waiting on, is those 115 charges that were going to be here in November. What will that do for them? There's talks that it could relegate them. There's that many... Listen what happened to Everton and Forest for their point deduction. That was for a couple of charges. These have got 115. So they could be looking at a hefty punishment there. Where does that say Pep, De Bruyne, Haaland? Because De Bruyne has recently said he would take a big money move somewhere. He's not getting any younger, he said. So there could be a big transition period coming up. Man City, so does Bruno risk that? Yes, he can go there next year. He's going to win the league. Might win the Champions League. Probably win the FA Cup if they don't be too fucking hungover for the final. Not letting that one go. And yeah, he's going to pick up trophies. Going to be playing at the best facilities in the world under the best manager. But like I said, how long for? And what he isn't going to be playing for is the best fans. He'll be massively missing the Geordie faith, I'm telling you, because when he's wearing bucket hats and kissing the bars and everything, that doesn't really matter at the Etihad. Dead atmosphere. Not many fans at the club. He's not going to be adored and loved when he's got Silva next to him, Haaland next to him, Foden next to him. They're not going to really care about Bruno Guimaraes that much. Yes, obviously they will, but he's not going to be the star of the show that he is at Newcastle United. So he's got that to consider. But listen, if he wants to go in there for the money and he wants to go in there to win trophies, then you can't really blame him. That's what majority of footballers do. It'll be a big shame. Obviously, it'll be devastating. I'm not going to even touch on that yet until it potentially did happen. But just briefly, obviously, it would be an absolute stinker to lose Bruno. It would be heartbreaking. Quality top-class midfielder who gets the club, who've got the passion, got the connection and everything. So I'm really hoping it doesn't happen. Obviously, we've got a couple of weeks left of that deadline. Let's see. By the time this video comes out, maybe more stuff is getting leaked about if Man City have activated the release clause, if they do release the clause, if they are thinking about it, whatever. You know what I mean? There's still a good 2-3 weeks left for them to do so. We'll wait and see. But that's what were reports last night. Like I said, I've always said he'll stay, so I'm going to stick to my guns. There is a part of the scene I could see Man City activating that release clause just because they can. Because they're not arsed. They've got the money and they think, well, we'll take them. So, yeah. There is that fear there, but I'm going to say that Bruno will stay for at least one more year. And then where we finish next season, say we finish 8th again, 7th again, nah, you'll be away. But this year, Bruno stay. How is? He's staying. He's staying. He's staying and it's coming home. Next topic, Dan Ashworth. Before we do that, I just want to give a quick shout out to Mick the Prick, great name, and Jeanette and the others for their lovely support of the channel. Really appreciate it. So Dan Ashworth then, before we get into his dodgy secret meetings, it came out last night that Newcastle have turned down a £3 million bid for the sporting director. Bids for sporting directors, man. It's a mad old world, isn't it? We obviously are still holding out close at that 20 million value in compensation, which Sir Jim Ratcliffe labelled silly. You're silly. Silly in your old age, Jimmy. If you don't think you can just get someone for the sake of it. What this does my head in this. What does he expect me to do? Just be like, there you go. Sporting director, you want it? Couple million? Yeah, no worries. The valuation's there. Like it or lump it. Do you mean like it or lump it? So at least get closer to it. You're 17 million off. Maybe we could come to some sort of agreement. If we can meet down the middle or get to about 12, 15 million. Do you know what I mean? But 3 million. Where's that 3 million going to benefit us? I'd rather just keep Ashworth like it looks like the club are doing at the minute. On his garden leave until 2026. Couple more years trimming his bushes. Then let him go. Let him do whatever he wants. By that time, he's going to be on the dole. By that time, he'll be making YouTube videos. Do you know what I mean? Because at the minute, he's just harming his reputation more and more. So, it looks like he's been at it again. Deceitful Dan. At it again, allegedly. Allegedly, of course. Been having meetings at Wolves. So, on garden leave, the rule is you're not allowed to have any other interaction as part of your job. As part of the rule, sporting director, you know, you're on garden leave, you're technically still employed and being paid, by the way, very handsomely, being paid by Newcastle United, sneaking around still. Still having these little emails and Skype calls with Man United and that. Not just that, now he's doing it in person. This plug just gives no fucks. In one way, I kind of admire it. He really doesn't care at all. He really does not give a shit. But on the other hand, it's like he's pretty damn stupid. Is this really the Dan Ashworth that everyone was buzzing about? The man that transformed England? The man that transformed Brighton and Hove Albion? Because the bloke doesn't even know how to send an email, and he's just out cold in public, getting spotted left, right and centre. Doing the dodgy, secret meetings and whatnot. So is this really the bloke that we wanted to spearhead our revolution of the takeover? I'm not that arsed about this bloke anymore. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise that we have no longer got Dan Ashworth. So he's been at Wolverhampton Wanderers at the training ground, having meetings with their owners and having chats with Gary O'Neill, their gaffer, the one who was linked to Man United. Now I know Ten Hag's team, but that's a bit dodgy yet again, isn't it, Daniel? So he's been at Wolves, having meetings with their owner. To be fair, right, this could look one or two ways. Now, in the article, they are saying the Wolves owner never has meetings with parents of the players, one-on-ones, because Dan Ashworth's kid is at Wolves Academy. So they're saying it's that way, and they're saying that they've got a good relationship, so maybe they're just having a chat. What's weird is, why not just have a chat at each other's house if you want? You know what I mean? You could just invite them round for a cuppa. If you want to have a chat there, they're doing it in broad daylight at Wolves training ground. Obviously, someone from Wolves has leaked this. They've been at Manu or whatever it was, and they're just chatting away. What's next then? So if the Manu thing falls through because they haven't got the patience and Jimmy doesn't want to pay the money, you'll see him at Wolves soon enough. I don't know. Apparently, Ashworth's house is close to Wolves where they're playing, the training ground. So maybe he just got lost in his massive garden, on his lawnmower, just kept on going all the way to Wolves, straight to the training ground. Then he started doing their pitch because he got nothing else to do. He thought, I love gardening that much. That pitch needs cut. Get me over there. Gonna go and trim the goal line. Get me scissors out. Got nothing else to do. Honestly, the bloke's on so much money. On his garden leave, he's just doing what he wants. Doing whatever he wants. So he's having these meetings with Wolves. He's sending emails behind the club's back. Man, you don't want to pay the compensation. It's all gone mad. What a mad old scenario that's happened there with Dan Ashworth in Newcastle for the sporting director role. And obviously we still haven't replaced him. Freeman and that turned us down, so we're still on the hunt for it. We're obviously getting on with our transfer window now without a sporting director. So Ashworth, God knows what's going to happen to him, but the bloke, to me, doesn't look like the brightest, and he's just doing whatever he wants. So let's hope Man U pay the money for him soon, or if they don't, fair enough. Let him enjoy the sunshine in his garden. What a life. Getting paid millions. Must be nice. Anyways, that's the latest on that. One other thing just to talk about before we go is that Romano is reporting that the Lloyd Kelly deal is done. So that is all wrapped up now. He's saying the medical's complete and he is officially a Newcastle United player. So let's wait for an announcement on that any minute, any day now, really. Probably by the time this video goes out. Never know. Might be official, or at least Sky reported in the club. Maybe he's in Newcastle now. He might have made his way up from London to pose with the new Adidas kit and whatnot. But we'll wait and see. Any updates on that, I'll be bringing you straight away. So please do subscribe to the channel, drop a like on this one, and enjoy yourself.